Hello, welcome back to another joint episode. We're here with Aiden. Welcome, Aiden.
Hello, everyone. How are we today?
Yeah, good. So we are going to pretty much based on it's the cricket show here on the BBL show with Aiden, and we are here to share quite a few what it is cricket season here in Australia. So we got the Australian versus England series. We've done two. We're going to cover the Brisbane Gutter. Well, wherever you want to word it, but it's called the Gutter in Brisbane. Then we're going to set and wrap up with that and to the Adelaide Test sports and all that. We'll share all the results and all in the second test as well. What is around with the BBL and so much more. All right, let's get on with it. What a series so far. Yeah, okay, it's only two series into it, and could we see a better Ashes series between Australia and England? And factor, can England reply from the big time? And from over stat by stat wise, the second innings wasn't much, but 2 outs for 69 for when Australian batting is not really from 69 runs to win. Come on, right? We know better than that, but that's all right. I'll just go through very quick and I'll let you share, Aiden. So, based on with the first innings, yes, England started bad and they need to find some face. Do they bat again in Adelaide? Do they want to bat again? Now, my advice is so the scores for the first one for Australia was 511, which is a good score. To England, 334, both all out, and 241. England were leading 9, and it went for 4 days, which is a really, I think, fantastic. Within 69 runs to win for Australia from 8-wicket victory. So how are all down? I'll just quickly go through the scorecard very briefly. So from the bowling point of view, Mitchell Stark 6 for 75, and Neser comes in for the first time in his 14 overs, 1 for 43, 1 for 87. Scott Bowles ran Brennan Doug with 1 for 81 and no wicket 43 with no Nathan Lyon in. Their best batsman was Zach Lee with 93, 138 Joe Root, and basically you can see on front of me like it wasn't even 50 plus there, but Joe Root was the best for England. And into the first innings, their best bowler was Brian Case. He had a pretty good series in this one, and Will Jack with 1 for 34. Gus Atkinson 1 for 4, 1 for 14. He'll get better. Joe for Akbar 1 for 87. Again, he'll get better, but he's been the sub in and out. So for the best batting for first England, really the best one was Jake Wellfall, 72 from 78, 65 from Munster Lampard, 65 from 78, 61, 85 from Steve Smith. Cameron Green dominated was 45, 57. Alex Carey, 63, 69. 77, 141 is a pretty good effort from me to start, and really nothing else to really. No one hit 100, so in the second innings, just to make it, no one really the only one. It was the story of the town with Ben Stokes 50 for 152 with an absolute beauty, I think, and Michael Neser 5 for 42, a pretty good effort in his first in Ashes series as well. So I think anything can happen, and with Scott Boo, a bit better, 2 for 47, and Brendan Doug 1 for 56 and 2 for Mitch Stark for 64 runs. So a bit not great for Mitch Stark, but man, he dominated in overall. And like I said, for 59 runs, so 44 runs for Zach Cowley, and I mentioned Ben Stokes from 50 from 152 and 41 Will Jack for 92 balls. So for Australia, nothing really much. Travis Head from 22-22, 17 from 23 from Jack Webber, and gone for one batter, and Steve Smith with 23 not out 9. So how can I relate overall from this series? I think England needs to find a way to get better. Can they do it? Yes, we'd love to win all series, but anything can. But we know England can get better. Hopefully in Test number 3 in Adelaide, anything can happen. 2-0 lead means could be a draw. It means anyone can win it from the 4th test, which is we'll find out very soon, but in Melbourne for the Boxing Test, and then finish off with the very special one, the 5th test. So anyway, enough, Aiden. I'll let you share. Yeah.
All right.
Gather test. So take it away.
All right, thank you. So, yeah, this was a real test. This was much better than England's performance in Perth, and in a way, also a lot better than Australia's performance in Perth. Apart from Travis Head standing up with the bat in that second innings there. Bowling is Australia's business as usual. I never freak out about our bowling. We've got a good stock of bowlers that come through, and we've proved it here. We didn't have Cummins, we didn't have Lyons, we didn't have Hazelwood. In comes Neser to get the job done. We made a game plan around not having Lyons, and Neser came in and pulled through. He got 6 for the match, 5 in that second inning as well, which I'll get to. But England first innings, 3-3-4, a lot better from them. Unfortunately, not many people got starts. Most people got some into the teens, most in the single digits. Root that 138 was his first 100 here in Australia, so that was a great achievement for him. And it was a class 100 as well. It wasn't a lazy 100. It was a old class 100 to watch, and it was a joy to see. Even him being an English player, it was one of those elite 100s that the Fab Four made. The Fab Four being Joe Root, Steve Smith, Virat Kohli, and Kane Williamson. Going along with him was Zach Crawley making 76, and as I said, after that, nobody had any stars. Nobody went on with their start. And Australia really seemed to, every time England got a new man in, took the momentum straight back. And this went straight into Australia's first inning of batting, 5-11 Australia, where a lot of players made big scores for Australia. I believe it was only the 5th time in the history of Test cricket where a team's gone past 500 scored without a single player achieving 100. Travis Head 33, strong start. Jake Weatherall, 72. Very, very good 72 from him. That was his stand-up innings. Okay, was it 100? No, but that was his stand-up innings. He's coming to Adelaide on the back of that, and he's going to be in very good form. Minus 65, Steve Smith, 61. Cam Green, 45. Alex Carey, 63. Josh Inglis, 23. Michael Neser, 16. Mitch Stark, 77 for Mitch Stark. Scott Boland, 21 not out. Brendan Doggett 13. That's how you compose a 500. That is cricket at its finest. And I say this is only the 5th or 6th time that a team has surpassed 500 scored without an individual 100. But that's how you compose an inning. As a team, everybody gets starts. A lot of players getting into the high scores. Everyone from the top 7 made at least 30. Apart from 2, everyone went past 50. 77 from your number 9 hitter. That is how innings are made. The tail stands up. Stark and Boland held down the fort. Stood up, got the runs on the board when the game was even. Australia took it away from England going into the second innings. And that second innings was all about Michael Neser. Michael Neser's 5 for 42 of 16.2 overs, giving him his first international 5 for and in his home state of Queensland. England, standing up for England was Ben Stokes and Zach Crawley again, 44 for him. I don't believe any English stood up in that inning with them either. So we had, no one stood up there for England apart from those two, and that was disappointing the way that innings kind of petered out towards the end, because England looked like they could have been on for something if, again, other players made starts and went on with their scores. This could have been a lot closer than it ended up being. Australia cleaning up 69 for 2, to bring an end to the match and move on to Adelaide 2-0 lead. So now Australia, with a draw in Adelaide, will retain the Ashes. England, to regain the Ashes, must win Adelaide, Melbourne and Sydney. One draw for Australia gives them the retention of the Ashes. Australia have all the cards in the deck right now, and they are playing like a team with all the cards in the deck right now. They are confident, they are alive, they are lively, they are enjoying playing cricket. The depth is there. They have players who can make big scores. If someone fails, someone makes a big score. It's like the team from the 2000s, late 2000s, early 2010s, when you had Ponting and Gilchrist and Langer and Hayden and Clark and Hussey and Simon. Someone was going to make a score. if someone didn't, someone else was. This is what this team was in the Brisbane Day Night Test, and we're going to have a look now at the Adelaide Test, which Australia go into only requiring a draw to retain the Ashes. Squads have been announced for Adelaide, which starts tomorrow.
Sounds awesome, Aidan. Can you come along and share who's in the team?
For Australia, we go in, we make a couple of changes. Lyon and Cummins come back in. We have Travis Head, Jake Weatherall, Marnus Labuschagne, Steve Smith, Cam Green, Alex Carey, Josh Inglis, Pat Cummins, Stark, Nathan Lyon and Scott Boland. So the omissions there being Brendan Doggett and Michael Neser. For England, they go in with a team of Zach Crawley, Ben Duckett, Ollie Pope, Joe Root, Harry Brook, Ben Stokes, Jamie Smith, Will Jacks, Broden Cast, Joshua Archer, and Josh Tongue is the only inclusion for England. And these teams, England needs something to get them going. They need, whether they're batting or bowling, it's going to be very hot in Adelaide this week for the test. It's going to be in the high 30s pretty much the whole test until the weekend. 33-ish, 33 plus 40 Thursday, 35 Friday, and then it cools down a bit on the weekend for Saturday and Sunday. So England need a hot start, whether it's with the bat or the ball. They need to have the advantage early and not lose it, because if they lose it, this Australian team will take them to the cleaners. This is an Australian team who are built to retain the Ashes. This is a single mindset team. This is a team designed to copy the great teams of the 2000s, the 90s, where anyone is liable to make a score, anybody is liable to get a five bet, anyone is liable to make that great catch, that game breaking moment, whatever needed, someone will do it. It may not be you, it may be the guy next to you, it might be the guy down the order, but someone will do it. And that's what this Australian team is built as well. Good combination, a lot of righties, a lot of lefties as well in the batting and bowling style. England are a team who are desperate. They're a team who are desperate, and this is why they need to make that hot start, because they need to get them footing, not just in the game, but in the series as a whole. If we come to Wednesday morning, and Australia have cleaned up the first session, whether with bowl or bat, it's over. The Ashes are over. England will just play out the remainder of Adelaide, Melbourne and Sydney, but the series is going to be over. And this is what Australia has done, is masterminded a game plan totally to negate Bazball. That's what it is England want to come here and talk about their Bazball and all what they plan to do. That's fine. We're going to negate that by having rotating depth. We're going to negate that by having new guys come through. We're going to negate that by having players that England hasn't seen before. England thrive on consistency. Throw the same players out there, you know how to beat. Three new guys out there, they struggle. We saw that with Michael Neser. We saw that with Jake Weatherall. We saw that with Cameron Green making his return. He's only going to get better as the series goes on as well. Brendan Doggett had a good run of things for a first-time test player. So, do I think England will stay in the Ashes after this test? No, do not see that. I see if Australia don't win in Adelaide, it will be a draw. If England somehow survive Adelaide, they need to have a look at themselves over Christmas and come in ready to play cricket. Not Bazball, cricket. Cricket is going to help them regain the Ashes. Ben, back to you.
Thank you. And there's some really good, absolute great note to know, and I'll be honest, it's a pretty good note. And we don't want to have a boring Ashes, because we do have a boring Ashes, not cricket. It's basically one team just has a better game plan than the other. I think, yeah, you never know. Anything can happen, and it's any sport. So we stay on cricket. So yeah, wow. The Big Bash League, the men's competition has started, and somehow it's still started. Raining in Perth is a very unusual. To have a half a game of the Big Bash for the first game, it's not the same. And you go to Brisbane, you go to Sydney, you go to Adelaide. Ooh, okay, that makes sense. We go to Perth, you go to Oxford Stadium and play cricket, and then half the game, basically 20 overs for the game. So wet cricket in Perth is very unusual, because it's always hot over in Perth, saying like Adelaide and Brisbane and Melbourne. Well, Melbourne's also raining state as well, but Perth can be, but not in summer. But do have the first two games we are going to share with, and then we might do a bit of a thoughts and reviews and how we're going to take this time. So, but before I get to that, I am going to share just a brief mail about the Australian versus England game. So, test or Ashes or match number 3 in Adelaide. Hot, yep, cricket. Now, there's no rain in the first couple of days, so I'm hoping this is going to be England's kind of weather because they love hot weather. Now, can they feel Adelaide's hot weather? They're going to feel the summer here in Australia. Now, I think it's going to be, and thank you so much for if you hear from Aidan's announcement for both Australia and England. The team has been announced, and I'm hoping it's going to be some good names in. I hope it's going to be entertaining, and hopefully it's going to be not as boring. We do now come to the first two games. We started. Won't you say too much? I know Aidan share as well his thoughts. So on the Australian app, you can go and check on Google Play or Play Store. You can download the Live Score app or go to the BBL Big Bash League. Just type in that, and you'll see both the WBBL league. We just saw the final series, and I may as well join in that as well, the BBL. So we do have some great cricket on our hands for some fun. I'm hoping to go to a game or two to go and how much enjoying a bit of cricket. So first up is congratulations to Hobart Renegades in the WBBL, claiming their first ever title in the WBBL over Perth Scorchers. Now, interesting fact is Hobart Renegades, the men's and women's first time in in 1 year to claim the title. And the WBBL having been around for that long, 11 seasons later. Wow. So well done to Hobart Renegades Women's WBBL champions. So let's make it nice and smooth. So Perth Scorchers men take on Sydney Sixers. Now I've in my thoughts, if you heard my cricket episode, I think I chose to see an upset the Sydney Sixers take it, but because it was the wet conditions, Perth the 5 weeks, 5 wins, 5 balls remaining due to the wet weather. And we did have a game number two, but I do apologise not having that available. I'm going to go into the BBL app. You can check that out. The free app for Big Bash League with both with the women's and men's competition. So we know what's happening with in Damien now. Have you ever heard of Perth having rain in basically in BBL? I never seen it before. So we're just saying. So yeah, it's all free app. So you can go and check that out. Hopefully it'll be a fun one. But we will down at GHBM David Win Geelong, say that. And we had the coming up slower than normal with the actually a very small gigabyte, but they're having a big upgrade. So here we go. So we do have the 15th BBL option from the BBL, WBL. So second game, which we had with our first 200 score, and which is Melbourne Renegades taking a win, 14-1. I chose Brisbane Heat take this win, but anything can happen. So
Are you telling me you're 0 of 2 in 2 games in the Big Bash?
I reckon as well. I'm not even doing a competition. I'm just presuming and my guessing a lot we always do in the AFL, NFL, all that. There's a bit of fun in that. But yeah, I could be wrong. I may.
Third time's the charm. There's another game. There's always a game on every night. You can get one eventually. Hey, you could go 0 for 47 and get every single game wrong at this rate.
Yeah,
Your strike rate is 0.
I have no idea who I chose, Aiden. I'm just in my mind. But I definitely chose Hobart Renegades to take on Sydney Thunder. Is that the BBL final rematch, or was that against the Sixers?
I don't remember. BBL happened so quick, you can't even remember what the final and what's a regular game. That's the thing.
Yeah.
This is, and I'll talk about this in when I have a go, is my biggest gripe with the BBL is it's just all too rushed. Is
Yeah.
that it's just constantly one game after another every night, and you lose track of stats, you lose track of your favourite team, you lose track of who's played who, because you get one game finishes, we're instantly thinking about tomorrow night. Tomorrow night finishes, we're instantly thinking about Thursday night. Thursday night finishes, we're instantly thinking about Friday night. In the meantime, we've got a test in Adelaide. We got other stuff going on around the world in cricket as well. New Zealand
Yeah.
playing. So its quickness is its greatest strength and its greatest downfall.
Yeah, absolutely. So we won't go too deeply. So what I'm going to be doing is week in, week out, just do and I'll just share my result all in one hit. Just very quick, less than 30 seconds. That's it. That's not in 15 seconds even that, Aiden, because you don't want to be just going, well done, this and this player should. No, we're not going to discuss about all of that because it'd be too emotion. So that's really the first 200 in BBL. We've seen it thousands of times in history, especially in this comp. It's better. It's supposed to be better. It's supposed to be quicker. It's supposed to be full on. And boy, they always say that to advertise that part. True, I've seen it, and boy, but we got 212 from 198, and when the Renegades won in total of 14 runs. So 21, beautiful night must be in Geelong. Unfortunately, I'm not yet to see to watch any BBL due to being unavailable to watch it, but I'm hoping to watch them against the Strikers and the Sydney Sixers as well. The 36ers also play in that cup competition day as sponsored by Disney Plus. But wow, a lot of sports going on in for Adelaide Strikers and the Sixers. And I tell you right now, Aiden, that's a very different. We can chat about that amount of time, but just talking about the 36ers believe and how on earth a three-quarter time, making it short, 14 points up at three-quarter time, then come to a draw and then win by it and 1 point and a higher scoring. Pretty impressive. Final feeling, first versus second, and lose against a team against Sydney in overtime, lose by 6 points. So, wow, Adelaide looking pretty strong there. So, that's enough for me. I'll let you share your thoughts and what you think about those couple games. So, I'll let you share that bit.
All right, thank you very much. All right, Big Bash 2025, BBL 15. We are 15 years into the competition, 11 years into the women's competition. I'm still surprised we still have the original 18. Not that any of them are failing, but I thought this competition was ripe for expansion. But here we are, 15 years in, still the same original 8 side. Game 1. The biggest rivalry of them all in the Big Bash, Perth and Sydney. This game obviously was a 11-over game due to weather in Perth that night. Now, the biggest story of that night came from Perth. Cooper Conley was the man who stood up for the Scorchers in the end there. 59 for him. He does get out of 31 balls, but 59 off 31, a strike rate of 190.32. That's where you want to be for the Big Bash. Cooper Conley, one of the bright young stars of Australian cricket. He's played some Test cricket. He's played some One Day. He's played some T20. We all accept he's good. We all know what he can do, and now he's just proving it every day, every year, in the Shield, in the One Day Cup, in the Big Bash, that he is the next in line. He is the chosen one to be the next face of Australian cricket if he keeps this up, because he is the one that people do want to get behind as well. For Sydney, no one really went on there with their scores. I mean, Dan Hughes got a duck, Bubba Azam 2, Josh Phillips made a 28, Moses Enrique made 9, Bobby Shaw 19. Jack Edwards, who was originally looking like he'd be the Cooper Conley of right now, 46 not out of 21, and Ben DeWarsha 6 not out of 3. They closed their innings after 11 overs in that one. And then Perth, we go through the scores for Perth. My phone is broken. This app hates me. The Cricket Australia app genuinely does not like me. So we're gonna leave this app. We're gonna burn it and we're gonna reopen it, and we're gonna go from there. I hope it works for me. I really do, because I need this. Come on, work for me. So apart from it's gone. No, hello, here we go. It doesn't know what it wants to do. Half wants to go, half wants to play for me. It can't decide at this point. Because I was really looking forward to getting into the second game of the season between. Now it's not responding. Brilliant. Now my CPU says the app's not responding. Bravo, Cricket Australia. Build it. Second game of the year. Melbourne Renegades made 212. Brisbane Heat made 198. 2 games in, and we have our first 200. We nearly had our second 200 in the same game. Tim Seifert from New Zealand made a century for Melbourne Renegades along the way, and Ollie Peake, another young star who is actually from Geelong, so he was at home playing at GMHBA Stadium, and we know who else plays there at the category. Ben, don't make me say it. It's the sexy Geelong Cats.
I know. And that's the home of the Melbourne Renegades as well.
Yeah.
They also play at the old Docklands known for Marvel Stadium or the Telstra Dome. It's now called Marvel Stadium. So pretty impressive of that.
Yeah, well, I mean, Dockland, Telstra Dome, Marvel, whatever you want to call it, a Stanley joint, whatever you want to call it. Yeah. Dockland's indoor, it's not great for cricket, so the move to Western Victoria to Geelong is probably the better option, obviously. That new stand is actually getting used. Believe it or not, if the AFL won't let the Cats have finals down there, the Cricket's come in and been like, it's a nice new stand. Mind if we borrow it? And it's finally getting used for what it was meant for. because now you can have 40,000 down there at the cricket. And Geelong's not like it's far away from Melbourne anyway. It's only an hour down the road, hour down the highway, hour on the train from Flinders Station. So, it's not like it's that far out of the way. People will go there. So if the Melbourne Renegades want to rebrand themselves as the Geelong Renegades or the West Melbourne Renegades, I'm all for it. Same with the Sydney Thunder. If they want to rebrand themselves as the West Sydney Thunder or the Homebush Thunder or whatever, again, I'm all for it because we don't need, and when I say expansion, I don't mean we need new teams. We just don't want two teams called Melbourne and Sydney. They don't play in Melbourne and Sydney. If the Sydney Sixers have a stronghold over the SCG, the Sydney Thunder play out at GWS. Same with the Melbourne side. Melbourne Stars play at the MCG. Melbourne Renegades go chasing tail all over the state. Docklands, Geelong, they'll probably end up at Ballarat at some point this year as well. So, create your own identity. Become West Melbourne. Become West Sydney. Because it's hard and confusing for if you're watching the Big Bash, right, and you're a new support. If you're new to Australia and you're new to cricket and you're watching the Big Bash and you go, why is there two Sydney teams playing against each other? Why is there two Melbourne teams playing against each other? It gets confused. It's confusing for me, and I've followed cricket my whole life. That's the thing is, like, at least with, like, teams in the US sports, like the Lakers and the Clippers, they both have LA. But we all know that LA's a Laker town. We all know the Clippers were from San Diego originally. We all know that they ain't nothing in LA. The only way I see the Clippers actually doing anything, while I'm thinking about it, is if they get out of LA. Honestly, they need to get out of LA. They built a new stadium and it still hasn't worked. Vegas is right there, and it's probably either going to be you or Portland. My Cowboys suck. Don't laugh. But back to the cricket. My app is not working. I can't go through the scores. We're going to leave it there.
Thank you, Aiden, and hopefully you enjoy much as Aiden's enjoying. So unfortunately, the new app has actually have updated with the BBL as well, the Big Bash League, the free app, and also live cricket app as well. It's all to do not just in Australia, at the international, and that's what I love about the app. It's free to download with your Android device or Apple. All right, try to wrap it up with the cricket show. Yes, we spoke briefly about the basketball. Yes, we spoke about the home of Geelong, well known for the Gatorade moan of Aiden mentioned Geelong Cats. Haha. So thank you so much for listening. Wherever you get your podcast, you will see this. Thank you, Aiden, for me on another episode of the Beta Show.
Thank you very much.
No worries. Catch you soon. And yeah, all the latest quizzes are up there. Hope you enjoy it, mate. Sure you share this all around. All right. Thanks for listening. See you soon.